welcome back, Pokemon Go players, to another episode of the Purified podcast. Today is January 10th, 2022. I am your host, Luis Palacio, with my co-host, Chris.
Hey, it's your boy, Pokemon Trigger, please. How you doing today, Lewis?
I am doing wonderful. Another nice week. Another nice hunting. I don't know. That's how you say it, I guess. I don't know, bro. It's like... Yeah, but anyways, we're here once again to talk about all things Pokemon Go related news, updates, and ranting about the game because we love the game just as much as you do. And, we are always part of the Professor Network, so please make sure you check us out at theprofessornetwork.com/Purified Podcast. Wonderful people to work with. There have some cool things coming up pretty soon, so make sure you check them out. It's going to be interesting. Anyways, all right, Chris. How you been? How's your big week? How's everything been going, brother?
I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty annoyed with the game the past 2 days. I don't know if they changed this recently or if I'm just mistaken. I think I just, did something I wasn't supposed to. But I always struggle sometimes to get the daily stop spun sometimes.
Okay.
So somewhere along the line, I accidentally missed a day.
Oh.
But I thought yesterday, I didn't catch anything. But now that I look back at my journal, I definitely did. So I was very unhappy because my chain continued. Because I was going to fix it today. But today I just had to not spin a stop for it to continue. I was going to just not catch a Pokemon yesterday. So that way today would all line up perfectly, but oh well. It all works out in the end.
Well, I mean, I don't think... Okay, so when the whole streak happened... I wanted to light it out with my 7-day streak and my 7-day research breakthrough box, so that way I don't have to worry about it. So every Sunday, I have a box, and I have a streak, and I have everything else. So I get all the experience in one day specifically. I never take advantage of it, even though they always tell you, it's like, oh, you're going to get like triple the experience if you do this and you do that. I'm like, I don't know, brother. But I should actually be taking care of that for some reason. I don't know why I haven't done it anyways. But it is what it is. My week has
At least you have it available.
Oh yeah. I was actually just on Twitter just in a second there. It says, I don't know what this is about, but it says 2 LAPD officers fire after ignoring a robbery in progress call to catch Snorlax in Pokemon Go. What?
Oh my gosh.
It is like an hour ago kind of like thing. Like, what the hell? Am I...
Yeah, I could see that 2016 Pokemon Go vibes, but come on.
Oh my god.
2021.
Like, was it a
Snorlax?
shiny? Was it a shiny?
Yeah,
oh my god.
Yeah, they're like, come on, man, it might be shiny.
I don't know why, but when I went to Twitter, literally that actually appeared. Like somebody retweeted it. I was like, okay. I didn't think that until I saw the Pokemon Go part of things. So.
Nice.
Anyways, now my week has been pretty okay in terms of a lot of different things. The game has been sort of kind of like quiet. I haven't actually spent more than probably $20 in the last 2 weeks. And that's surprising for me because I like to raids when I can. But right now, there's nothing really I want to raid. We'll definitely go over, the Mantos of Power event that has been ongoing in the last few days. Plus a few other news that we have, but let's go ahead and recap and see what we got for last week. Chris, what did you get? A shiny Hundos or whatever else you got?
I think I got a Purified Hundo, but I haven't purified it yet. Let me just see what I got going on.
Let me see. Let me purify it before I get there.
Other than that, I don't think I have anything new. But let me just take a look. Shadow. No. Just a PvP Shadow Snorlax and a PvP Larvitar. I think that's all I have.
What I'm gonna actually do from here on out, since we're on a new year, let's add something to our shinies and Hundos recaps. we're gonna actually add some PvP Pokemons whenever we do get something pretty good for PvP. And we'll mention it in the podcast, I guess. And we still have some PvP listeners around here, so I'm pretty sure that we'll get to that. Also, I do appreciate everybody who's actually coming into the podcast on our live stream right here, right now, to watch us rant too much about this game.
I still haven't checked this Chimchar, but it's a 0-15-14. And yep, that's another rank 1 Monferno. I know I already have one.
Okay,
this freaking monkey, man.
Hey,
I thought it was going to be a good Infernape.
Hey, Karen has always said, weak Pokemon, strong Pokemon, that doesn't matter. It's Pokemon that you would like to battle with, that is your strength, you weakness.
Matters to me.
Well, it is what it is. But actually, there's something pretty interesting that we'll talk about in a PvP section when it comes down to it. But nothing else? Shinies, Hundos, anything?
Nah, not this week.
All right. Well, since I really didn't actually get the chance to look at my PvP bonds, I'll just go over my Hundos. I did get one Hundo last week, and it was a random wild catch from the Gold Plus. And if this was a Fletchling Hundo, couldn't be the Shundo, but I never that lucky for the reason. I already have my 100% Talonflame, level 50, everything to go, so there's really no point for me to actually evolve it. It'll probably stay as a Fletchling, or I could even keep it at that for some kind of like future PvP stuff and everything. So if it gets to that point. And then shinies, I actually got quite a bit of shinies last week, surprisingly. That includes today. Let me check, make sure that I have my dates right or something. So it starts at the 3rd. Okay, so starting off with a what's the pre-evolution of Delcatty? Skitty?
Skitty. Yeah.
So I did get a shiny Skitty in my house when I was leaving to work. So immediately evolved to Delcatty, so I'm actually okay with the shiny there. That's my second one. Then I go plus on the same day, I go plus a shiny Spinarak. Very first one, I've been looking for it since its release, so I'm happy that at least, the Go Plus can do some pretty good things when it wants to. Chris is smiling because this is my first one that's like a 5th one.
Yeah. No, I'm happy for you.
Sure.
One.
I was able to snag myself a second shiny Kyurem, which bad IVs, but I got invited to one and I got it, so I was like, cool. And then just today I go plus a shiny Geodude, so pretty good golden nugget right there. So
Funky one too.
Not a bad haul for me specifically. PvP wise, I really haven't checked at all. I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of start Pokemon, so I have no idea if there's anything out there that I want or having. I mean, I think, it has like a 0-12 Hitmonlee here, a Shadow. And
that could be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. After that, it just depends on what I'm getting. I think last time I actually got like a 0, 13, 14, rank 74 Sandslash or a Alolan Sandslash. So maybe I finally got those Pokemon ready to go.
Use it in Kanto Cup. King of Charmanders really made that thing a monster.
Really? I'll give it a try. Definitely give it a try. But it is what it is. Now, we will, of course, recap our last week of gameplay when it comes down to it. However, we do have to go over a few little things before we mention what we're going to be talking about. You might be wondering, all the pretty slugma here, but that's one of the mysteries when it comes down to it. So we'll go over that in just a second. But after that, the game, aside from the event that that just started Friday of last week, it's been kind of quiet. So I'm not actually liking it because some of the spawns are actually pretty okay. We know that Shiny Hoot was released for the very first time through the event, but after the event ended, Shiny Hoot is actually available in the wild now. And some people are starting to get it, and of course, you can evolve it to Noctowl if it's not the custom Pokemon. And it's great. I mean, I've been wanting that shiny for a while. Hopefully I get it eventually. And a lot of Hoots has been spawning out of the regular spawns from the season of Heritage. So we're like top notch, waiting for the right moment to catch one, if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. As for the New Year's, I mean, Happy New Year, everybody, if you haven't been there since the last podcast. But it's been one of those weeks. Going back to work, or getting back to the routine, a lot of different things are changing. Hopefully, we are at episode 96 of the podcast. Four more episodes, and we actually hit 100. So that's crazy, brother. 4 more weeks. So I don't know. We may
do something special.
I know we gotta do something real special for our 100 episode. We should also be closing in on our 2-year anniversary, if my math does correctly. Let's see. So we got 3 more weeks for 100.
That sounds right.
4 more weeks for that. So by the time, I think, if I remember correctly, we stream it around the 13th of February. So, I mean, 5 weeks before our 1-year anniversary, but also close to the 100 episode at that point. So I guess we could probably combine it. We're technically 2 years into doing this podcast, which is insane to think about, Chris. Insane to think about that we have been doing this for 2 years. Now, yes, we have gotten our breaks here and there, but, during those breaks, we recharge our batteries, get ready to go for more. I do want to do more for the podcast. Like, definitely want to amplify the experience for anybody who's listening through our podcast services fees, anybody who's listening or even watching us right now on Twitch. We do appreciate that you guys are here listening. I mean, we've hit a pretty amazing milestone before the end of the year. So I'm actually happy that every single day, every single time we do this podcast, even if we sometimes have to take off like a day extra and everything like that, we definitely appreciate it, as always. And I think I'll continue saying that through, almost 2 years. And the game has gotten crazier and crazier since then. But, We're talking about almost 2 years. Let's get into our research topics, because there is something interesting that we're going to definitely talk about classic Pokemons. So, Chris, take it away, our very first piece of news.
All right. This one kind of surprised me when I heard about it.
Mm-hmm.
But, going back to Bulbasaur. What do I mean by that? Community Day Classic. Back to Bulbasaur. It looks like we're going to have another... It's exactly what it sounds like. We're going to have another Community Day with Bulbasaur. So if you missed out on it, because, it was a few years ago, now's your time to get a nice old shiny Bulbasaur.
Well, there's more implications when it comes to this, of course, but yes. So, Community Day Classic, back to Bulbasaur. I don't know why we have to go that route, but okay. On Saturday, January 22nd, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time, trainers, we're returning to the roots of Community Days during the Seasons of Heritage. A special treat, we'll be holding Community Day Classic and bringing back a favorite, Bulbasaur. So, just like any Community Day, Bulbasaur will be appearing more frequently in the wild from those time periods local time. It will know his exclusive move once you evolve all the way to Venusaur, Frenzy Plant. So this is not, a complete different move for a Pokemon that we already have. No, this is the basic, strong but powerful Pokemon that we have here. So I mean, I could swear, but I mean there. So.
Yeah, best case scenario, pretty much.
Yes. I don't think nobody's complaining about this, but if people are complaining, they are dumb. Sorry.
I mean, aren't we getting two? Two?
Yes. So this Community Day, this Classic Community Day, Community Day Classic, however you want to call it, is an extra Community Day that we're getting, aside from the Seal Community Day that we are going to have next weekend on Sunday, which also features another Pokemon and 3 times catch experience. So we're technically gonna have 9 hours of extra 3 times catch experience throughout 2 community days. The little modules, the incense, and the snapshots are all the same. We do have a special one-time purchase Community Day box for 1280 Pokecoins, and then 30 Ultra Balls in the shop at no cost. Now, we also have a special research story, Bulbasaur Community Day Classic. Now, of course, they don't want to actually put less in the spot and say something cringy, like,
Uh,
Bulbasaur, the Badu, or whatever Pokemon or whatever. Um, so yeah, so that's the interesting part. Now, literally nobody was expecting this. That was like we were completely caught off guard when this announcement came out, and they came out on January 4th. So it was a couple of days after our last podcast, but blow my mind. Now, when I read it and started going through Twitter, there was definitely some backlash from the community. A small backlash. It wasn't as big as you think so, but probably 99% of the community is actually okay with this for two reasons. One is a complete separate community day from the one we already have. So it's not that they're making a repeat event, making us make sure that we can actually get access to this type of event once again. Now, this is also another backlash when it came down to it. People were thinking, why are you just recycling all events? It's like, you do understand that this community day was, since 2018, it's been over 2 years since we had Bulbasaur and the ability to get Frenzy Plant on it. It's insane. And especially in this high quantity. Now, there has been events that we had the ability to get Frenzy Plant and other community day moves throughout the year or throughout the times that some events has happened, but never like this again. We hadn't had it, and one of the things that they changed back in, I want to say 2019 or 2020, they redid the community day for Charmander and Charizard, but they didn't give him the same move that we know that is powerful as it is. Now, don't get me wrong, Dragon Breath has its abilities when it comes down to it, but Blast Burn Charizard makes it all its worth. Same with Blastoise and same with Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur, Venusaur at the end of the day. So I don't know why people are complaining how you actually just get an extra event that you're also offered the ability to get extra experience and the ability to get the community day move. Why are you complaining? Why are people like this? I have no idea. Chris, can you give me some thoughts?
Dude, from what I've seen in Pokemon Go, people just want to complain. I don't get it. I'd understand if it was taking the place of a different community day. I'm sure there was a little bit of backlash when they came out with the Charmander community day, even though it was getting a new move.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, we didn't get a special research story available. I mean, I know it's an extra $1, but for the people that like to do them, I'm pretty excited that they actually put it out there.
Oh yeah,
I don't believe it was available before. And don't get me wrong, we've had the December community days to be able to evolve them, but it's just not on the same level that a straight up community day is. Pokemon Go, Niantic, it seems like they're trying to make more fun experiences for us, and I'm kind of surprised that people aren't into it. It's almost like a nostalgic community day. Like, it's literally called the classic community day classic. So hopefully they keep doing them, because I know there's a few other ones people would be really excited about, Larvitar. But I don't know. It's very surprising to me that people are like getting mad that they're trying to do more fun stuff, more out there stuff.
There's three big pointers when it comes down to it, and I really do see about it. Number one is it's great for new players, it's great for returning players, it's great for the ability to actually get the special move, because a lot of us who, somebody like Chris and I, that we play every day, it doesn't matter, because we have gone through it through the last 3 or 4 years of community days, and we know and understand how great they are and how it changes our meta and things like that. But for players who are just returning, especially post-pandemic, if we ever got to that point, it's something that they have been missing in their inventory for the longest time. So it's great to see that Niantic is catering for those types of players, because we don't know how they are going to try to do community days moving forward. We don't understand. We've seen different types of ways. They've seen different Pokemon that we didn't even think about. Their pattern was on point and before the pandemic started, and then they had to switch it all over on us. And yet they gave us great Pokemons out there to use throughout those things. And it just makes it easier to bring back something as classic as this, as having a repeat community day like this, instead of having to redo the Pokemon entirely, give it a complete different move. You're not going to be able to team unless you have a Lily TM to get it his previous move and then make it even more powerful or less powerful than it was before. Things like that don't make sense unless you're really thinking of the player indefinitely. So I think that Niantic is getting to that point. Now, the second point that I got is extra event. Just let it go. If you don't want to play it, don't play it, brother.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, honestly,
you
just put down the phone.
Right, you got 6 hours of Seal in next week, and then the following weekend after that, you only have 3 hours. And also, and this is the last point that I'm gonna make, I think this is actually showing Niantic who is willing to play through either the 6-hour community day that we already have, and has been established for a couple of months and a year since the pandemic started, or if it's something that we can actually go back to a more normal 3-hour event. Don't get me wrong, the 6-hour event, top notch. But sometimes I get tired of walking and doing things for 6 hours. There's definitely a grind and burnout after probably the first 3 hours, for sure. And then, of course, you still got to get playing, and then you got to get lunch and water and everything just to make sure that you keep on going for the last 3 hours of the day. If we return to 3 hours, we definitely can see an increase of gameplay because you only have to worry about those 3 hours. Now, when to do the 3 hours, that's the big question. They're doing this one during the last few hours of the day, but when Community Day was first started, they rotated between the hours of 11 a.m. to like 2 p.m. or 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. because they wanted to cater between the people who are in other sides of the world to what we have here. So if this is something that means that they're changing the quota back again to what we used to have it, I'm all for it. And I'm okay doing a 3-hour event more than a 6-hour event, even though I could get more shinies in the 6-hour event. But that doesn't really matter if you want to get like 30, 50, 60 shinies at one point.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think people are going to be complaining about a shorter community day, especially since it's, a shiny a lot of us already have.
Yeah.
So even the people that still need the shiny are going to be able to trade people that have already gotten the shiny. A lot easier after this event, too.
And there's a lot of implementations that they have done in the last few communities that's helped a lot. Where I remember how Bulbasaur was, it's like you grind the 3 hours into the last 10 minutes of the event, and then you evolve the hell out of everything you got.
It was a lot of trial and error with the first few ones.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, I don't think that there's anything wrong with this classic community day that we got here.
No.
I think this is a good idea moving forward, giving us the chance to go through. Now, if they tie it into the Season of Heritage, just like they mentioned here, it's like, because it's the Season of Heritage, welcome back, trainers, welcome back to Bulbasaur kind of thing. And they're bringing that type of event to it. I do think that something like this could happen outside of the Season of Heritage because it is just a great way to cater to the players out there who are just not there yet or just starting their journey indefinitely. So I do believe this is a good event for good practice, and then if it goes well, we'll see more returning Pokemons, not just the starters, but maybe some other fan favorites that we definitely want. Just like Chris mentioned, we need a Larvitar community day again.
Yeah, get them extra larges.
Yeah. So,
well, the only, I just thought of it, the only, logical thing I can think that people would actually have a reason to not be excited for it is, say, for example, they start spawning Dino. Or, just something crazy like Axew in the wild for, a weekend. And then the community day that we've already had takes place during that weekend. That's an extra, 3 hours that you're not, 3 hours taken away from a rare spawn like that. I can understand that, but if we don't have anything going on, I'm all for a community day that we've already had because it's legit just extra, extra goodies.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you, Chris, are you planning to get into this community day, or do you have just the Pokemons ready to go for the evolutions?
I I feel like I already have like what I want, and what I want is, good ranked PvP ones.
Mm-hmm.
I'll definitely take a look though. I'll definitely take a look to see if I need to evolve any. All for the extra large candy though.
Oh yeah,
All for it,
definitely,
especially since it's got a
definitely.
mega.
Oh, even better. Even getting the Hondo just
Yeah,
in this kind of things is insane. So let
yeah.
me
I don't think
go.
I have it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
might. I don't know.
I do have the Hondo, so I'm actually okay. I did have to use an LETM to get his Frenzy Blight move. I do want the extra
Perfect.
large candy though, so that's another thing that I forgot to mention. The extra large grind for Pokemons that you really do want when it comes down to those things. Really, really
Mhm.
actually speaks to a lot of different people. But let me go over to real quick Poke Hub. I don't know if that's the right one. Definitely not. Okay. How about just leak? Or how do you spell that, leak? Or
Poke League,
something
or
like that.
like.
I'm just trying to look for like an infograph here, but I should actually just go to one of their discords, and we'll definitely find that in a second here. All right, so classic community day. Da 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 da. Okay, I'm surprised nobody has it here. Okay, am I like going crazy, or did nobody actually said anything about classic community day in the last few hours or a few days? I don't know.
Uh, I personally didn't hear anything.
Weird, but okay. I wanted to actually find an infographic because there is, people who actually post the type of like what ranking do you need for each Pokemon. Oh, okay. I know what I was missing. Lead Duck. There it is. I don't know why I was actually missing it.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you for reminding me, Chris. I mean, just making me like short on this
first
anyway.
try.
I know, right? All right, so let's go ahead and move to this infograph when it comes down to this. Frenzy Plan being an amazing type Pokemon or special move for the shiny, top notch when you evolve it to Venusaur for sure. There is a ranking list. Do you know what is the ranking for to look forward for Community Day for Bulbasaur there, Chris?
Like for a rank 1 Venusaur,
Yeah.
it's either 1 15 15 or 0 15 15. I cannot remember though.
It's definitely closer to
Let me see, because
0.50.
I can just check PV Pokey, and I can maximize the PvP output, and that will tell me a rank 1.
I'm just going to Poke Junior real quick and then just scroll all the way up.
That's true.
All right, so so an actual rank 1 Venusaur is a 0 14 11 actually.
Really?
Yeah, surprisingly.
Yeah,
And
that's a weird one.
that is of course for Great League, but for Ultra League, you do want that 1 15 14 for that reason. So again, Venusaur being just as that powerful of a Pokemon when it comes to both Great League and Ultra League, I don't think we can go wrong with having this type of Pokemon in Community today anyway. So
Nah, his attack stat is a lot higher than a lot of people give him credit for.
oh yeah. So again, guys, this is something extra for the players out there who want to grind a little bit more. For me, there's two different reasons why: extra large candy and extra experience. I am on the grind to level 50, and I'm a little bit closer to halfway there. I'm at 13,000 right now out of 30,000. So I am getting there. I just need the experience. I definitely will be grinding the 6 hour one this weekend, and I'm going to go non-stop catching for the rest of the weekend, for the rest of those 6 hours. If I need a little bit more, and if I'm missing just a bit more, I'll definitely play the Bulbasaur Community Day just because of that. And the extra large candy. Anyhow, I think we ranted enough about Bulbasaur and everything else. I guess the classic part of things makes that excited, but I'm excited about Bulbasaur.
Yeah, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but Yeah, I think it's definitely a good extra event for sure.
Definitely, definitely. All right, so let's get into the other piece of news that we got this week, and that is the Mountains of Power event. This was teased throughout the January dump of news part of things, but of course we get all the news and updates right after the last podcast. So of course you guys are getting it literally 3 days before the event ends. However, Mountain of Power event started on January 7 at 10 a.m. to Thursday, January 13 at 8 p.m. local time. So a couple more days for this event to go through. Season of Heritage continues. So if you purchase the Johto ticket for the Gold Tour Johto, you are able to get this Season of Heritage story a little bit early and be able to do these kind of things. However, if you are not willing to pay, $13, $14 for the event ticket, you just have to wait until the event actually starts for this to unlock for you. The event bonuses will have half walking distance to earn hearts with your body. So if you are looking to max out and your affection with your buddy Pokemon, this is the event for you because 3 hearts, 3 kilometers instead of 6. Gotta love it,
Love it.
Love it. Time research, of course, featuring catching Pokemon, hatching eggs, and earning body candy. This will reward you with different encounters like Mawile and Beldum, so pretty good to that. Have you finished that yet, Chris?
Yeah, I finished that I finished that not too long. I was really excited for the Mawile actually.
Yeah. Remember, Mawile does have a Mega Evolution, so... the following Pokemon will encounter in the wild. We got Zubat, Matchup, Geodude, Slugma, Nosepass, and Barboach. Chris is looking for that Barboach and is looking at me like that.
I do like Barboach, I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of shinies I need here.
Yeah, and all of them can be shiny. Slugma being the very first introduction to shiny in Pokemon Go. So, shiny Slugma, please? No? Okay, I figured as much.
We can dream.
We can dream. Just like I mentioned Geodude, I have gotten the Geodude. Zubat, the matchup, maybe Nosepass because Nosepass is something I need anyway, so... If you're lucky, you might encounter Onyx and Ferroseeds. Now, this is great because Ferroseed extra large candy is scattered, so it's really not easy to find them. He's not the most common Pokemon right now either, but it is because if you're lucky, you can encounter. And of course, they're shiny. So, Ferroseed shiny Pokemon is legit. We have raids, 1-star raids, Alolan Geodude, Onyx, Beldum, and Bronzong. If you want extra large candy for Beldum, maybe, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know why.
Extra large Steelix is interesting. I'm kind of surprised they actually made him a 1-star when 3 stars are a thing.
Well, the 3-star pool is turned over by Ursaring, Donphan, Medicham, and Absol. Mm-hmm. Well, we had just Mega Absol, so I'm really not entitled to get it. Plus, I have enough extra Mega Energy for it, too. I don't have the Houndour yet,
I was going to say, if you really like the shiny, by all means.
Yeah. Heatran is back in 5-star race with his shiny available form, so... I don't know. And then, of course, the Kurogura, the Mega Raid, a Mega Aerodactyl introduced into the game for the very first time.
Yeah,
right. This is the first time we'll have a rock type attacker mega boost for any rock type race that you do with your buddies and everything. So keep in mind if you want the extra large. Man. Yeah. Funny enough, this is I was able to get enough mega energy to evolve one. Aerodactyl was my very first hundo in Pokemon Go. So my very first buddy cool. Pokemon. Well, my very first actual hundo. So I had to do the honors and actually mega evolve him and be a mega Aerodactyl this time. So I'm happy about that one. Field research. We do have the following field research. Alolan Geodude and Slugma will be in field research task. And if you're lucky, you might encounter a Mawile research task. I got in a few of Mawile. Everything has been mostly Slugma and Geodude anyway, so...
Yeah, the other two aren't too bad in my opinion either.
Yeah. Alolan Geodude pretty great in the Great League with the second evolution Gravital. Actually, not even Golem,
right? Yeah. Personally, I personally prefer Graveler. But I think Golem got some updated moves, and that made him a little bit better.
As for
but,
Mawile, we of course need the shiny and the
yeah.
Hundo and the Shando for Mega, so it is what it is.
Yeah, it's got that shadow form too.
Yeah. So that's pretty good too. And that's pretty much it. That is the Mantos of Power. Again, we had a couple of days to already digest into the event. So what do you think so far, Chris?
So far, I think this event's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we got a new shiny that a lot of people really like.
Yeah.
And the spawns are really fun, I feel like.
That's pretty good.
What's your favorite spawn?
Definitely the new shiny Slugma, some nose passes,
Okay.
but Ferroseed is probably my top number one chase Pokemon of this event.
Okay,
Just
I can see
because,
that.
just because we haven't had really that many chances of actually encountering a lot of Ferroseeds in the wild.
Nah.
The season ahead just doesn't give us that much pool of it, so I'm actually happy about it. I'm happy that it's still a rare Pokemon too. I mean, not a lot of people has been able to catch a shiny Ferroseed in that regard. So don't expect too much from it, but still, just keep an eye when it comes down to it. All right, and that is the piece of news there. And I lost the document for some reason.
It's hiding.
It's hiding. Okay. But yeah. So now I want to turn over to Twitter real quick and actually go to the Pokeminers out there. Because there are some interesting things to talk about in the data mine. Now, as you guys know, data mining is breaking terms of service, but talking about it, that's not. So don't do it if you can't. There is some information on the last data mining 0.2 to 7.0 and some of the highlights. So they added Johto Tour music. I kind of actually want to listen to it. Don't get me lie, because Johto was a fan favorite and it's still a fan favorite for a lot of us. Generation 2 music slaps in the old games, so I kind of want to hear it now.
Whenever I hear them put in new music and it sounds so much better than the game music, I wonder why don't they just get some new music,
right?
Yeah. Instead of just doing it for events.
We'll see. A few new color accents and special flame effects. For Shadowluya and Ho-Ho. For some reason, Drowsy wanted to start hypnotizing me, so... Icicle Sphere has been added into the move pool for, its community day coming up this weekend. So interesting to that. There's been some updating instructions or things for PvP refaction. Now, this actually comes and goes when it comes to who has been able to pay or not pay when it comes down to it. Real-time communication is the focus of key parts of battle itself. So maybe they are changing a little bit of how PvP is, because I know it's kind of broken right now, so it is what it is.
Always.
Yeah. This is an interesting one. And this is not something that I actually thought until they added here. A Pokemon Sleep integration has been added to the code. Now, it's not fully a whole Pokemon Sleep thing. Let me go over to where it says here for Sleep. There has been, for those that don't remember, Pokemon Sleep was announced in May of 2019 as an upcoming game that will track your sleep via a new accessory, the Pokemon Go Plus Plus. The Plus Plus, I don't know why I have to say that. My goodness, what an awful name. Thank you, Pokeminers. Will also double as a plus for Go. So, just like our regular Pokeball Plus or a Poke Plus, we'll definitely, be able to use it for both games when it comes down to it. So there has been a little introduction into the game's database about a connection to the actual device. Now, they don't use Pokemon Sleep as the connection of it, but it's something interesting to note. Just like I mentioned in the blog post, Pokemon Go Sleep has supposed to be had released a long time ago. We have not gotten any news since its announcement, and that's mostly partially to the pandemic. So we didn't even think it was going to see the light of day at this point. Am I excited? Probably. If it's something that's going to help us in the game, I'm all for it. And if it means sleeping 8 hours a day, I'll take it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, finally a reason to sleep 8 hours a day. No. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that's something pretty interesting. I'm pretty hyped about it just because there is something for everybody here. So we'll see how it goes. Route updates, so a new route tab added to the nearby menu, things like that. A new quest
Hmm.
service for when you start rocket encounters as a quest reward. Maybe something to do for changing a little bit how quests are. Better priorities to the quest into debut. Ads, Google Ads, and a new Niantic ad library, I guess. Oh my god.
Oh.
Audio updates to better control when your audio track is supposed to start. Power up stops. Bonus items are not have a unique color. Some small wafer updates and some miscellaneous updates. So pretty interesting when it comes down to it. So I guess we'll take care of that. Again, the most exciting part of this whole thing is definitely the sleep update. We'll definitely check it out if there's something going on about that. But if there will be an announcement pretty soon, I hope to do because I just want to know how it works. How about you, Chris? Any thoughts?
Definitely excited. Always excited for new things till I get to try it and very much dislike it. But no, I'm definitely excited though.
I think they learned their lesson, but it's Niantic, so they never learned their lesson.
The audio cue thing kind of interests me too,
Mm.
because remember during a few of their events, we would try to listen to the music, and then we click on a Pokemon,
And
and
it
then the
starts.
music would go away, and then
Yeah.
restart. So I'm very interested to see if it has something to do with that. I'm very interested in that.
I hope so too. Okay, cool. But yeah, so again, we'll hope for better updates and how things are gonna go. There's a lot of speculation to come in the last few days, especially in the next 2 weeks with Legend Arceus coming around. So we'll see how it goes. Definitely keep your wallets up because once the Gold Plus Plus comes out, we definitely want to get another one. So I'll definitely think how it goes. Although I think I'm gonna stick with that regular Classic Gold Plus just because it's still more what you might call it handy when it comes down to it. So we'll check it out. Anyhow, I think it's time to go to our PvP section. Get good, get wrecked. Here we go, Chris.
All right, all right.
So to start off today, because today it's Monday and has switched over, the Sinnoh Cup is now live in Pokemon Go. And it's time to battle with Pokemons from the Sinnoh region. Chris, you got
Oh
any
God.
pointers or tips for this?
So I just heard about this cup today,
Of course, yeah,
and
after we go over the whole thing, but yeah.
wouldn't you know it, people put Munchlax as their I saw that they were putting Munchlax as their go-to, which I thought was very interesting. I definitely think it's a good generalist.
Right?
But I'm looking at the top three Pokemon, and two of them are extra large Pokemon. One of them being, the face of terror, that is Bastiodon, extra large Bastiodon. Oh my gosh, man. Um, I do see Lucario up at the top. I think that's due to his very unique typing of steel metal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, sorry, steel fighting. Um, so very interesting to see him up there. And then you got Pachirisu extra large in the third spot. Very cool.
Yeah, we're never gonna see the
Um,
light of day when it comes to Pachirisu, that's for sure.
he's a weird one. He's a weird one. I do
Well,
like him though.
the last time we actually had Pachirisu was when we had GoFest 2019, at least for us,
Yeah,
But anybody who's actually in the side of the world where they can spawn it, yeah, they got it.
yeah. He's gonna be around. We got Gastrodon with Mud Slap, Body Slam, Earth Power. We got our boy Abomasnow, both the Shadow and the regular Abomasnow. This is one of the times that the Shadow is actually higher than the normal one, interesting enough.
Yeah.
And the only reason I bring that to note is usually the normal Pokemon will beat the Shadow Pokemon. due to HP. We got Frostlass coming up next, Drapion Shadow version in the 8th spot, and Toxicroak, and then Munchlax. That's about as far as I'm going to go. If you want to look at the rest of the ratings, I'd go to PvPoke.
Shout out.
Yeah, for sure. PvPoke's an awesome tool. And then
Well,
you just click on Sinnoh Cup.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes down to it, I do like this. One of the things that somebody actually mentioned, Gastrodon is really an interesting Pokemon to actually see, because Gastrodon is a good Pokemon overall. However, it gets overshadowed about some of the Pokemons out there in the regular Grey League, so it doesn't see the light of day, especially because it dies to grass, and a single piece of grass destroys it anyway. So. But when it comes down to it, it is interesting to see something as Gastrodon, or even Drapion or something similar, or even Pachirisu in itself, which we know is powerful, but it is when it comes down to it. However, I do believe that this is something that they should do every so often, just to give us the chance to play with Pokemon that we don't usually get to play. Now, yes, there is their
I
top
agree.
notchers out there like Lucario and Bastion that we have seen since the Kingdom Cup. Back in 2018, when PvP or Silt Arena was actually a very good, well, it's still a very good thing, but just it was just starting out. And I got a Lucario that's been ready to go since then for a while. Do remember Lucario? The only way to get Lucario for you is to actually get it under a certain CP power, or certain CP when it hatches from an egg as a Riolu. So it's not easy to obtain, and it's definitely not easy to even get at that point. So if you're lucky, definitely get it. Greninja is not part of the Sinnoh Cup because it is not eligible in the Sinnoh Cup in that regard. So, but yeah, so things like Drapion, we know about Munchlax, we know about Toxicroak, we know about Snow. We definitely seen Bastion plenty of times. Some other notable Pokemons like Cresselia, if you can get a Cresselia under 1500, that's great. Empoleon with Hydro Cannon and Drill Peck, Drifloom, extra large, hopefully closer to extra large, I guess. Wormadent, Trash, Extra Large, Gliscor. Pokemons they don't never see the light of day. Even Bonsley. Extra Large Bonsley. Just think about that, It's like, hey,
Why?
counter rocks like Earthquake can do wonders. So, I'm definitely excited to see how this meta ships out and how things go. So, give or take, hey, here's a Hoothoot. Let me get shiny. No. Okay, cool. But in overall, I think the cup actually seems like a pretty fair cup for a lot of the players out there. So keep an eye out what people say, what is the best thing, and we'll definitely give you an update by next week and see how it goes for us. So, and then Chris, any factions updates since then?
A little bit. I think I mentioned a lot of it last week. We do have our starting lineup, which can change. If anyone's trying to cheat, it can change. We got our lineups for Master League. We got our boy Loudmouth. For Ultra League, we got King Duxpool. Very excited to see him join. We got Great League with somebody new named Pokemon Trigger, please. I don't know.
Damn, that guy doesn't sound fun to talk to.
Yeah, what a loser.
I know, right?
Then we got Captain Shook as one of the specialists for the Sylph meta. We got Adonis Creatus as another specialist. And then we have the alternate of Gillette. I believe that's because they're busy that week. We have False Water Cobra as our fusion specialist. Aaron as our fusion specialist, and we have the alternate of AJ Cottom as an alternate. I know a lot of us, sometimes need a week off, so I think a few of them are because they need to just take the week off. Very excited though. Hopefully this season goes a lot better than the last one. If you guys remember, it was like 1-4, and then we somehow didn't go down. And I think that's just because of the quality of the trainers we were getting paired with. So definitely trying to do a good standing this time.
Good. Well, it is how it is when it comes down to it. So I'm happy to see that once you get your first matches in, maybe next week, maybe the next following week, we'll see how it goes.
I am not sure when they start, but I think we got one more week.
Okay, so it is what it is. Um, well, definitely a lot to take in, when it comes to just a lot of the news and things that we talked about already. PvP wise, of course, it's still PvP. We'll see how it goes. I'm already missing the Master League, so.
I do have a little bit more news with the faction.
Oh.
I know Captain Shook is trying to sit a little bit of the Switch Master's foot into the Go Team Up tournaments, which I believe they're either a 3-person or a 5-person, I believe. So I would like us to put our foot in there. We'll see what happens though, because it is cool to get our name out there more.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you can always get your name out there,
yeah,
it's okay. But yeah. All right, so with that being said, once again, a lot of different things to talk about, a lot of different things to be hyped about. We definitely are going to this year more prepared than ever. So I do hope that days like this will continue. So yeah, that's it, pretty much it. Anything else, Chris?
No, I think we covered everything very well. We're getting very close to that 100 episode, so I'm very excited for that.
Yeah. Well, I do appreciate anybody who's come to the live stream on twitch.tv/purelighter to check us out when we are ranting about it, because, it is how it is. And of course, thank you for always listening to our podcast services between Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and many other places. If you can leave us a review, we will greatly appreciate it. Follow our social media, myself at PureLetterGo, Chris at PKNN, Trigger, please. And if you can always email us at the purifiedpodcast@gmail.com, we greatly appreciate it. We wouldn't mind after 2 years to have maybe 1 or 2 email listeners out there who will want to talk about their experience and everything. Like I said, guys, just let us know what do you guys do for Pokemon Go, and make sure you check us out at the Purified Podcast @.com/the Professor Network. So with that being said, I think, Chris, it's time to take us away for the night.
All right. I'm just gonna end starting with a little story. So, long story short, to change my YouTube name, I had to put one of my emails as Pokemon space Trigger, please. But then it makes my name in my McDonald's app PKMN Trigger, please.
Yeah.
But all they can read is the PKMN when I order something, and the lady called me pumpkin the other day. So I'm just gonna leave you with that. But I hope you guys have a very fantastic start of the year. Hope you guys get all the shinies you want to get, all the new shinies, all the exciting Pokemon. And hopefully you guys are as excited for the 100th episode as we are. Try to do something special for you guys, because it's been a very nice pleasure to be here with Lewis speaking to you guys.
Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you once again to everybody listening. We'll see you guys next week. Keep purifying them and have yourself a wonderful night.